Good evening. It is Tuesday night at 7 p.m. That can only mean one thing, and that is time for UK Colts Fans TV. Yeah, we'll get to the game and how boring it was, and it pretty much sent me to sleep on a Sunday evening. But to start with, please take this comment into consideration and read the description. It's for everyone, not just for if you're actually feeling unwell or overwhelmed or stressed or whatever. It is for everyone, no matter the problem. But I'm going to let the quick-witted Robbie explain why he's got a dirty Sanchez.
Quick-witted, there's nothing quick about me, mate. Yeah, it's always nice to start off why the hell I've got this thing. But it's to support Movember, grow a Mo for a bro. From last week's show, obviously, we did a big mental health session. And every day this month, I'm posting about different things regarding mental health, where to find help, what to do if you need help, and just little kind of tidbits about kind of helping yourself really to kind of get through those dark days. There's a link somewhere for a Movember fund if anyone wanted to donate, but that's not really the point. The point is getting over the fact of it's okay to not be okay, and where to go should you think you need help.
Yeah. That's a good point. People think they only need to use these things when and if they need help. It's not. It's for all the time, right? It's even if you just want to check it out and read the stuff there, do it.
Yeah, do you know what's really cool is that, it's not just about, if you are thinking of committing suicide, that's the kind of the end of one spectrum. But, just if you're having a couple of bad days, just if you feel just a bit down, it's just good to know where to go, and just to know that there's always going to be someone there.
Yeah. So yeah, take that off. No.
Yeah, thanks for that, buddy. It's good. It's good. It's a good way to explain.
The
thing on my face.
Whereas I'm just, copying God, the one and only Jack Doyle.
You know how to make me a happy man when you bring Jack Doyle into the question 2 minutes and 29 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
Evening, Tom.
Yeah. The OG Tom. So the game on Sunday, I mean, God, if it was to be a day of the week, it would have been a drizzly Monday morning in Manchester, wouldn't it?
Have you woken up yet from it?
No. Let's be positive. A win's a win.
500.
INDY500. I've been waiting for that all year.
Did you think we was ever going to get there?
I thought we would have been there about 8 games earlier, but never mind. First, it was typical bipolar Indianapolis. First half, fantastic. Second half, just dull.
Yeah, absolutely. Shot ourselves in the foot, tripped over ourselves, our own worst enemy. But let's not worry about that. Let's focus on that first quarter and how we just absolutely stampeded it.
Yeah. We will start with the first quarter, obviously. That makes sense.
We start everywhere.
Yeah.
We'll go anywhere first.
And for me, it wasn't necessarily the fact that it was a dull win. It was, I feel like we'd already won the game. We was checked out. The Jags scored 17 points. But I feel like even if the Jags did score another 2 field goals or a touchdown, we still had a third, fourth gear what we could go through.
Yeah, even at half time, when you're playing a team that've only scored 9 points, I think we definitely took the foot off the gas. Frank Reich isn't the best at really killing teams off and killing people off. We do have a way of letting our kind of opponents back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a case of we outscored them and that's all you need to do.
It's only one stat that matters.
Absolutely.
Before we get into the ratings, Tom's got a good point I actually wanted to bring up. I think the Jags defense deserves a little bit of credit because they tightened up significantly after the first quarter.
Do you know what? Miles Jack was popping up everywhere. Shaquille Griffin was all over the place. Josh Allen Josh Allen looked like a good
fantastic. And let's not forget, you know, as weird as the NFL is, this is a Jags team that just held Buffalo to 9 points, and Buffalo just going to scored 50 against New York.
I'm actually just checking. I'm just checking the website just now. I can't even find Buffalo. I haven't got 45.
Yeah, so this is no slouch of a defense by any means. Just Jonathan Taylor, with, you know, granted he's not going to because you need to win the Super Bowl, and it's usually the quarterback who wins the Super Bowl. But, you know, with Jonathan Taylor making the same yards as Derrick Henry with about, I think it's like 30 less carries, he's got to be in talk for MVP. Derrick Henry was.
Do you know, this is what, obviously, towards the end of the show, after the ratings, the Pro Bowl voting has opened today.
Right, okay.
And I'm not a big Pro Bowl guy. I think it's more of a popularity contest than actually warrant merits. But, you know, if anyone from offense gets in it, it's got to be Jonathan Taylor. Whoa! What's going on there? I have no idea. One of the websites decided to play a video in the background.
That was Roger Goodell listening.
He had me slating the Pro Bowl vote.
Cole Slayler's bringing up a very good point. Jag defense is arguably most improved of all teams since week 1. Yeah.
Is that because they're on the field most often?
You know, we do laugh at the Jags a bit. They are a bit of a jokey team. But they're not a horrendously bad team. It's just whenever the rest of the AFC South's been good, you know, when the Jags have been good through, the rest of the AFC South has been great.
You know, No, I get that. But what we played on Sunday was a rookie quarterback.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way how to sum them up. You know, if they had a more experienced quarterback, I think it might have been different.
I like to bring up a very controversial thing that I think you saw my tweet, that I don't think Trevor Lawrence is Urban Meyers' guy. And I got crucified for saying that I didn't think he should go first.
He had one or two good passes. You know, you can see he's got a cannon of an arm, but I didn't see much of the way. And I think it's going to have to be the Jaguars' defense. And if you look at the turnover they've had on defense, from Jalen Ramsey to Calais Campbell, you know, they've had some real kind of experience in there that have let go, obviously through cap reasons and through being shit. But they've still got some real nice pieces. Like picking up Shaquille Griffin was pretty good. And I say Josh Allen could be a pain in our ass for the next few years.
Mm-hmm. And not before Josh Allen.
Yes. Well, yeah, he'll be a pain in our ass next week. And I think, you know, our offensive line didn't look too strong against them. Certainly Fisher, left tackle, I thought he struggled again as a whole unit as such. But taking away that first quarter, Tom Fields is better.
I've said Justin Fields should be one of the top 3 quarterbacks going, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. I could do a whole off-season show about how messed up the draft is, but
we can dig into that. But you know, there's only one quarterback that I really care about, and that's our
Sam Erlinger getting a snap.
Yeah, can we come on to that?
Yeah, we will do.
Yeah, let's come on to that later, because
let's start with the only quarterback that matters, and that's Big Daddy Wentz, Prince Harry's twin brother. Never seen them in the same room. Just saying.
Here's a conspiracy. What an enigma. What is he? Who is he? Like, 1 minute he's so composed and throwing beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
The next minute it's an erratic mess.
Yeah.
Look, I think that's the spectrum we've seen. That's the massive spectrum that he is, and he's obviously somewhere in there in the middle. But
he's still got, and Philadelphia fans come and find me and try and lynch me in the street for this, but he's still got that Philadelphia mentality of where he has to rescue the team.
Yeah.
Now that's partly Frank Wright's fault, and that's it was sort of Frank Reich and Matt Eberflus reverse roles this game, because as soon the Jags adapted at halftime,
massively.
Frank Reich just didn't know what to do. I think, Tom brings up, he tries to extend the plays too much. He does. But for me, he still pulls off clutch plays. We shouldn't be saying that against the Jaguars, but that third down conversion, wow.
Beautiful. But like we've been saying this since week one, that he tries to get, he'll prefer to put his body on the line and do something silly to try and get 2 yards rather than, right, let's just go down, let's take the hit, let's throw it away and live again to fight another day. And whoever's told him that it's okay to throw with your non-dominant hand constantly if you're about to go down, stab him with a wet fish.
Yeah,
because it's a little bit like, if we look at last year with Philip Rivers, if he got touched just on the shoulder pad, he's going down. Like he's not risking it, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. Like, unless you're in the Super Bowl and that's going to be your legacy. But just in a normal league game, just live to play the next down.
Yeah.
One thing that Trevor Lawrence is better than Wentz at, he has a beautiful slide. Beautiful hair, but he has a beautiful slide.
Yeah.
He had a couple of times. One leg was out, the other one was nice and in, nice and compact. Oh, it was beautiful. Whereas Carson, he just so frustrating with so much talent there. I still love him. I still think he's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams of being Steve Young. To be honest, I just don't get Carson. I love him. He is our guy. Happy for him to be our guy, but I think he just needs a little bit more protection from Frank Reich.
Wentz doesn't do sliding. He dives head first. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it pisses me off.
Yeah. I've thought about this long and hard, and I'm thinking, is it just because of his ankle injury, he's scared to go feet first? And that sounds ridiculous, but when you get hurt like that, it's like, I had a car bump and my shoulder was knackered for months. And then anytime I'd try and extend my shoulder, my arm, it just wouldn't. Your subconscious goes, I'm not doing that again, I'm going to get hurt.
Yeah, no. I totally get that. But the medical staff need to be saying, look, it's better for you to hurt your ankle rather than for you to take a collision on the head that's not needed, especially in this day and age. I totally get your point, but it's just that thing like Andrew Luck, who was the Messiah, the next coming, the Messiah. We had it with him when he just used to take hits and used to dive head first, and it's like, geez, come on, just be a grown up.
But for a game where it seemed like Carson Wentz got no help from his receivers in the second half, from his receivers, from his offensive line, it was great defense by the Jags in the second half.
Yeah, no, they stepped up and they made us. They made some good questions that we didn't have answers for. Questionable again. I don't know if it was play calling or if whether Wentz was checking out stuff, but how many times are we going to see a third down with a little swing pass?
I don't want to keep talking about it.
I'm fed up. I think I even messaged in the group towards the end of the third half. I'm fed up with this. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. One thing, if we look at it, we're scoring enough.
Yeah.
Yes, it was after the first quarter. It was a bit stop-start, and certainly Rigoberto Sanchez earned his money with his punts. But I think chalk it up to another lesson. We're 10 games into Carson Wentz's era. There still has been marked improvement from week one. And it's not always going to be, I think I've said this every week, it's not going to be a straight line to success. There will be a few bumps in the road, and, I found to have a bump when we win.
Yeah.
And so we can move on.
So I'm going to give him a 6, but it's not a bad 6. It's a quiet 6 because he just didn't really have much to do. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does. Yeah. His throwing was not the most accurate. I think that's fair to say. There was a few actually issues, but again, TY's not fit. TY didn't look good at all.
No.
At times, TY looked like he was just on the beach, which he's just come back from a pretty big injury and come back pretty quickly. Pittman is an absolute beautiful human being. Jack was used quite a lot for once, but the likes of Pascal and Doolin, they are a wide receiver 3 or 4 for a reason, and we need an extra good set of hands that can kind of help out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Granson had a beautiful catch as well, but it's just, I guess these aren't vertical runners; these are side to sides, aren't they? Like the Doyles, Doolins, the Gransons. These are side to sides, open up the width as such, and
I mean, you've segued us nicely into the wide receivers. I mean, apart from Pittman, so I'm saying Pittman is a guy on third down. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I've seen that tweet earlier.
It was pretty, like you say, it just something wasn't right in that game. Something didn't click.
Timing,
whether we stepped it down because we thought, well, we're playing the Jags, it's an easy win. Whether we just didn't prepare right, whatever. But so straight off the bat, everyone apart from Mike Pittman is a standard 5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mike Pittman, or Pit Monster, as I'm going to start calling him.
I'll have that all day.
Probably an 8 or a 9.
We go for an 8.
Go for an 8, yeah. Let's not get too excited, but that catch on third down, he made a toe drag look so easy. At first, I didn't think it was complete, to be honest.
No, definitely. But as I just said, Wentz, this is his 10th game. Obviously, I know the quarterback's a different position, but this is Michael Pittman's 10th game as well this season. I know he's here last season, but he didn't have Wentz last year, and last year he was used a lot in run blocking. This has been the first year, the first 10 games where he's had to be, okay, maybe not the first week, but wide receiver 1, and he's bloody stepped up.
Yeah.
He's really, really stepped up.
Calls up the O-line injuries.
I don't think that's awkward at all.
No.
I think we're struggling. We certainly struggle Sunday. Fisher continues to be, I wouldn't say a liability. I think that's unfair, but certainly not the.
I don't know what it is with Fisher, because in the run game, Fisher next to Nelson is fantastic, but he's got this childish ego behind him. It's like, yes, you've come to Indy where everyone knows it's a great oil line. The stats lie about this oil line this season because it's been injuries and in and outs and new quarterback. And he's like, yeah, I'm a part of this great unit, but I don't want to work to keep my shirt in this unit.
Yeah, no, I get it. And obviously Quinton went down for a bit, and
That was scary.
Kaminsky was around, and Braden Smith at a time didn't look too sharp. But you're going to get games like that, and the fact that we got the W out of it,
Yeah, and I mean, going on to the offensive line, Quentin Nelson. If you ever watch this episode, I love you. I think you're amazing. I love the fight.
Don't hit me.
I love the fight, but honestly, mate, just take it off till half time. We've got Chris Reed in there. He's doing a fantastic job at covering. And
I thought it was quite weird. He came in for that last 2 plays, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Obviously, he wants to show how tough he is, and being a leader and all that manly nonsense. But you got to be smarter. But yeah, look, the offensive line. First quarter beautiful.
Yeah.
But then from there, it was a downhill. So I'd score him down at a 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. But again, run blocking, the best in the league. If you ask me, I don't. I know Jonathan Taylor got stopped in the second half, but he already had 120 yards and a touchdown. He didn't need to do any more. They didn't need to do any more in the run blocking. So yeah, a standard 5. But like you say, Robbie, if we could come out of the game that bad and win, who cares?
No, definitely get it.
Tight ends, for me, they just once again the tight end unit did the job.
Yeah, Jack. Oh, so I'm getting choked up talking about Jack. Then he's getting on, but he's Mr. Reliable. Mo Ali's still growing into it. I don't think Mo Ali Cox is going to grow into an elite tight end receiver. No. I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
And Granson seems to be growing. He had a beautiful catch and run. When he looked like he's about 3 foot tall and about 5 foot wide. So he's obviously there for the blocking, but it worked. And the blocking of the tight ends is wonderful. Seeing them go in as that 6th lineman as such. They do a lot of the dog work that doesn't really get recognised, and I love them.
Yeah. For me, a 7. We never get any less out of this unit.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Running
backs.
The star guys. Jonathan Taylor just gets a 10 off the bat.
It was strange, obviously, because the way the Jaguars defense kind of changed and they adapted in that second half. They stopped the run game, which then obviously stopped us full stop. But for that first half, Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor, it was beautiful. It's what we wanted to see week 1. We wanted to see double backfields. We wanted to see him spread out. We want to see him moved around. And absolutely enjoyed the whole. I mean, it was only a year or 2 ago that we hadn't had a 100-yard rusher in a game for 7 years or whatever it was. And then, it's every week now he's getting 100 yards. And, I don't think we can take that for granted.
No. And, Jonathan Taylor doing his thing and Naheem Hines, people sort of, it was hard to disregard Hines with the lack of action on snaps at running back. But as we see, he's not just a running back; he's a wide receiver now.
He's a slot receiver. He's a wide receiver. He's absolutely everything. He is that Swiss Army.
He's not just catching screen passes or swing passes, like we say. He's catching drag routes, slant routes, little flat routes.
Absolutely everything, and it's a beautiful thing. And when they both get space, when they turn them jets on, they're gone.
Yeah, and these guys are just fantastic. I can't ask much better for a 1-2 running back room.
No, absolutely not. Like the running backs, like even Marlon Mack's not even getting dressed now.
Yeah. For me, your running backs, they get an 8. That's overall.
already wrote that one.
Yeah.
If you said anything less, I was going to fight you for it.
Yeah. Frank Reich.
Dead to me.
I just don't know what his game plan was going into that game.
Do you know? I'm getting bored of watching him look emotionless, just looking like he's waiting for a bus. Like,
yeah.
There was a play kind of, and it's good to take the emotion out of it. Obviously, we're fans because we have the emotion into it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, there's obviously a lot of stuff going on behind the eyes and stuff. But he just looks so just emotionless and just.
He's pretty cardboard, isn't he?
Yeah, and obviously every single time he's asked questions by the media, it's all monotone. It's just
it's all the right answer. Never the personal answer or the hot answer or the cold answer. It's always
whatever the PR guys have said, and this is our message. This is what we're doing, and yeah, it's just bland. It's just vanilla, like our playbook, vanilla.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be, and that's the scary thing. When we're 20 points up against Jags, I want to see a trick play. I want to see a pitch or a jet sweep or a double pass play, or I just want to see some of where was the wildcat formation? Where was the
well? But we're saying that in one thing, and then he did try something spectacular, and I think now is the time to bring it up. When Erlinger just decided to be like a headless chicken, what the fuck's going on? Number 4 is what the fuck is going on right now? Is all that I was thinking, and then I think I put the message. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's obviously trying to get him to jump offside, but that was never going to be a play.
No,
like, the guy looked like a horny dog just running around. It was random. It was strange. Yeah,
but if it did work, we'd all be sat here going,
genius.
Excellent play call. Yeah. I mean,
so yeah, like one thing I want to see more from the playbook, but more play designs that are with our starters, not with a kid that's never been on an NFL field before.
Mm-hmm. And I think as Colts fans, we were getting a bit of PTSD from the Jacoby Brissett package.
Jacoby, the
Super Bowl winner Jacoby Brissett package.
The Patriots Thursday night game, the butt fumble, whatever it was, whatever it's getting called, not the butt fumble, that was the Jets.
Yeah.
The special teams play when 2 of them went out in the middle.
But yeah, just with Frank Reich, I always hold Matt Eberflus accountable for being predictable.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to hold Frank Reich accountable for being predictable.
Yeah.
It was run on first down, run on second and long, screen pass on third and long. And it was like that for 5-6 drives. And after the horror show of that fake play action screen in the end zone, in our own end zone against the Titans, Frank Reich saying, yeah, that was my bad.
Yeah.
Goes straight back to a screen in his own red zone.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
I'm like, are you even watching the tape like we're watching? Or are you just watching the highlight reel?
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful.
And it's all well and good doing that against the Jags when you're at home, you've got momentum. You're probably going to win the game no matter what the Jags do. It's not all right doing that in the wildcard game, what we could well be in with it. Well, depending how the Titans go, we're still in with a shout of the division.
Scary, isn't it? The last 7 weeks were 5-2. When you put it like that, it's like
yeah, I can't explain this team at the minute.
No, it is a weird one.
That comes down to Frank, right? I mean, for me, it gets a 5. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
Vanilla, middle of the road, bland.
Yeah,
yeah. Fart in a thunderstorm, I think I said the other day.
Yeah. Right. Defense.
Again, what are we? What are we on? Are we this most takeaways going to be in the season, or are we this let's poodle around and play soft zone and just let people walk all over us?
I honestly, I don't know anymore. I'm running out of words to describe the guy. I think Xavier summed it up best, saying he can't. He should be working in McDonald's next week.
I just like there were some packages drawn up for the Jaguars where Quitty Pay looked like he could be a player. Deo had a couple. Stallworth.
Deo had the play of the game.
Well, yeah, if managed to bring that out of the bag. Stallworth had a couple of beautiful plays. So there were moments the defensive line looked good, but then so many times we rushed 4, got no pressure, and then they've got a tight end or a wide receiver that I've never heard of through the middle, plenty of space, easy catch, and that's another 15 yards completion. And I just give me some consistency. I know over 60 minutes you're going to get beaten, you're going to have hot points and cold points, but Jesus, like how many times have we just been beaten over the middle for an easy 12, 15 yard completion? We've rushed 4 and the others are just nowhere to be found.
The middle of the field was, more open than if you want to insert dirty joke here.
Yeah.
It was just, and it sort of comes back to that. You're looking at it thinking Anthony Walker would have been there.
Yeah, no, it's a strange one. I just don't get it. I don't get Eberflus. I don't get him. Like, I don't get the whole premise of when we're up 2 scores, let's just let them run the ball down the field. Let's let them just move.
Yeah, it's not even bend and don't break. It's just let them walk up the field.
Yeah, let's let them take 4 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to see some cutthroat. I want to see some stamping on necks once we're really killing the team off, killing their spirit.
I see. This Eberflus, our coach. It's just we talk about Carson Wentz and how there's been that constant uptrend.
Yeah.
With Matt Eberflus, it's just flat. It's just like we know what's coming every game.
Yeah.
And it's well known in the league now that as long as you pass it under 7 yards, you're going to get a completion against the Colts.
Absolutely. Soon, I think the first quarter, I think I said, or I did put that. As soon as they find rhythm, as soon as Trevor Lawrence finds a bit of rhythm in the throwing game, that's it. The game changes momentum, and it did. If you look at the quarterbacks who've beaten, you've got the not Teddy Bridgewater, Jacoby Brissett, sorry,
Super Bowl
winning. Beat him, Jimmy G, Trevor Lawrence,
Super Bowl winner Jimmy Garoppolo.
Whoever it was that played for the Jets, Jack Johnson, whatever his name was.
The famous singer.
I couldn't even tell you who played quarterback for the Texans.
Big David Mills, who threw for 400 yards, I swear.
That bum absolutely battered us.
Yeah.
If you look at who we've got coming up, you've got Josh Allen, Tom Brady, whoever's going to play for the Texans. So we've got the next 2 games are going to be 2 elite quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter because we're going 12-5 anyway. But
well, we know this, but it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah.
So we need to have something for them. We need to have something schemed up for them. Otherwise, we're gonna concede that 30 points. It's obvious as well that the Sunday just gone, they didn't have a 100-yard rusher and they didn't have a 100-yard receiver, which all season we seem to let them, even against the Dolphins when we almost let them win. They had a 100 yards receiver, and so it's about keeping their guys quiet. And if we can play a game when we're not conceding more than 19, then we should be winning it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I joke, but I can seriously see us beating the Bills. Then definitely not the same team we played in the
Oh no,
divisional wildcard game.
well, wild card.
Yeah, they're definitely not the same team. I hate this. Let's rush with 4, and then you're always going to cover. Well, you can't cover forever.
No,
Just stop rushing 4. It infuriates me that he'll rush 4 on first, second, and then first and second down, and then on third down he rushes 7. It's like me playing Madden. I don't know what I'm doing. He doesn't know what he's doing.
no, I get that. But let's look at obviously from Sunday and the position groups.
Yeah,
Defensive line, when they were given the packages, they made impact. They were game wreckers at points. They won us the game.
Yeah.
In the end, I think if we had have gone and lost a 2-minute drill to the Jaguars and a rookie quarterback, I think Flus might have been out of a job this week.
Yeah, heads would have rolled. But anyway,
but from the defensive line point of view,
yeah,
I'd say it's probably the best game they've had, especially at key moments.
Yeah. I just wish we could tackle a quarterback.
It's not a high ceiling. Like, believe me, it's not a high ceiling for the defensive line because they have been bad all year. Stallworth certainly earning his money, and obviously on a minimum contract. Grover Stewart's done well. DeForest Buckner, I know people keep saying he's getting double teamed, but you're going to get double teamed if we're only rushing 4. Because 4 to 5, there's going to be an extra bloke somewhere, so you're going to get hit. So
Butler's a victim of the system, if you ask me.
Yeah, no. He's not a bad player.
You're not giving him chance to wreak havoc, and that's on the coat. I mean, defensive line for me, a 7.
Yeah, that's what I put, and that was only because they come up with some key plays and key moments.
And the secondary were great, if you ask me. I mean, we're letting plays up underneath, but that's apparently the whole design or scheme of this defense. That's not on. I'm not going to put that on the players. There was a scary moment where Darius was down, and Kenny Moore was down. Wasn't it? Yeah, please don't do that again. Sandeo, he's not the greatest in the pass game, but in the run game, what seems to be Matt Eberfley's forte of stopping, he's excellent. Yeah,
no, very good. I think Rock. I think he's growing still. I think
Rock is the out and out number 1 cornerback at the minute. I just think Xavier Rhodes is not fit.
No, he didn't even play, did he, at the weekend? But I hope he doesn't play at all. TJ Carey seems to be getting a lot more snaps, obviously, because we're struggling. George Odom, I thought he had another strong game, but these aren't starters. These aren't the elites. We had the ex-Jaguar play, didn't we? Josh Jones.
Yeah.
He came in a bit as well. And it's nice to see Zaire Franklin, obviously, in the linebacker position as well. But I just think we're lacking that. We're lacking the eliteness, that consistent side to side. I know we've got Kenny Moore, but he's obviously playing at nickel. He's half a linebacker, half a corner, half a safety. We like another year. Rock will get better. Get rid of Xavier Rhodes, and I think next year we'll be stronger. But we're left with what we got at the moment, which is obviously next man up, and away we go.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out why we cut Sean Davis safety, was it? And then got a safety in free agency or whatever, and
did make sense.
A mess that.
Obviously, there was something more than the football.
Yeah, there had to have been for that to happen.
It is what it is, and this is where we are. We've got enough to shut people down, but again, it's all down for the scheme. But what would you give the secondary for Sunday?
I mean, being positive and ending positive, you know, these guys did hold Trevor Lawrence, who's meant to be the next Andrew Luck, to minimum.
Don't you dare say that.
You know, they really did silence him, and they made up for the lackluster offense. That being said, I don't think we have bad players on this defense. I just think it's a bad scheme.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah.
You know, Darius Leonard and Bobby Okereke are still building that.
Who?
Bobby O.
Thank you.
Are still building that partnership and understanding each other's cadences. You can see it coming on.
Yeah.
We can't keep rushing for. If we rush for against Tom Brady, he's going to go for 500.
Oh, he'll destroy us.
Yeah. And, you know, you don't need to be a mastermind genius to see that.
No. Absolutely agree with that, mate. It's a bit worrying going into it now, isn't it? Oh, just mute that because I've just brought up. I just want to check the stats, but that's for special teams later. Sorry,
special teams now.
Yeah. Linebackers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really know what you can say for it anymore, other than
I feel like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, you know, but they come up with some. I think for me, they're very stop and start, very hot and cold, and it lacks that consistency. You know, if you watch him from afar, you know, Darius Leonard, you know, he'll make 4 or 5 big plays a game.
I don't even know anymore where the line is between.
Sorry, Harrison. Shut up.
They get copyright.
Absolute disgrace.
It's all right.
So, like, if you're like the NFL, like obviously they only see like the big plays, like, and you'll see Bobby O come up with a couple of big plays a week, Darius Leonard coming up with a couple of big plays a week, but it's that consistency in between, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not slating them at all because I love both of them, and you know how highly I think of them. But you know, week 10 now, and it's just that I think the whole of the defense, you know, it's very stop-start, very hot and cold, and they just need to lift that kind of consistency for me.
I think they do.
I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it off. Dead. I just wanted to get the special team stats because it was amazing. So what we're giving linebackers? 7 as well?
Yeah, 7 as well.
Cool. So that's the whole defense is 7.
It's about right, to be honest. The whole game was a 7. Apart from the special teams.
Thank you very much. Bubba Ventrone, you're an absolute god. Again, you know, I think we started off with Jordan Glasgow making a wonderful tackle from the kickoff. And then it just went from there, you know, blocking the punt through to, you know, Rigoberto's leg must be absolutely shattered. You know, I think he had to do like 9 punts, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think 7 punts came in the third quarter. Something silly like that.
What a guy Rigoberto Sanchez is. Just like, he never has a bad game.
The field position. And something I want to pose a question to yourself. When Hot Rod's back, where do we go? Do we bring him back in? Or because Michael Badgley's been lights out, you know, he hasn't put a foot wrong.
He's not. I'll stick with Hot Rod, and the reason why is it's easy. It's an easy decision to ride Badgley in the hot hand.
Yeah.
The minute Badgley misses a clutch kick, everyone will turn and say, "Well, Hot Rod should have been back in. What was he doing? What was he thinking?"
Come on, Tom. No, like we've got to do this, and excitement was not on my mind. Joy was not on my mind. It was a case of what's going on, PTSD going on. No, just absolutely
no.
Get off the field. You look like a horny little dog.
Yeah, But yeah, back to the hot rod badge. Obviously, I'm loving what the money badge is doing. Like we called CBS out last week.
Oh, look.
he's not been wobbly at all, and he's never taken kickoffs. The Colts don't do it that way. Tom Team Hot Rod.
No, like for me, Hot Rod's the cheaper option, obviously on the rookie contract. He's an absolute geek, which we love. So, like for me, like he ticks every box.
Yeah.
But you know, hopefully Badgley will then go on and find a job somewhere that isn't in the AFC South.
Yeah. And you know, the one concern with Hot Rod was his leg strength. Mm-hmm. Badgley doesn't have leg strength over Hot Rod. They're roughly the same, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely from that kind of higher 40s, like the 46, 47, 48.
And, you know, it'd be like having Tom Brady in for 5 games to try and win you the Super Bowl, and then having Carson Wentz on the bench, and everyone will still want Tom Brady because he is Tom Brady. It's just, I don't know. That's why Frank Reich gets paid millions to make these calls, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was just a question I wanted to kind of bring into the kind of forum, really, just to see what you thought. But you know, absolutely super. Like Isaiah Rodgers, like superb in his returns. He was superb in his returns. Every week they don't let us down. You know, they turn the field. Absolute beautiful.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to bring up about Rigoberto Sanchez. How he gets the ball to hang in the air so long without hitting the roof. I've no idea. I've no freaking idea how he gets that ball. You know, granted, he's not punting it 60, 70, 80 yards, you know, with a bounce. But the way he just gets it to hang in the air, it's a thing of beauty. It really is.
No, it is. I absolutely like the special teams. I can't speak highly enough of.
Yeah, and so for me, you know, in special teams, especially with the block punt taken to the house. I mean, I'd like to give the Jaguars punter a shout out for actually dragging EJ Speed over the line. I didn't get what he was doing there. He just sort of pulled him into the end zone. I was like, typical punter, but
just trying to stay away. But like, no, absolutely loved it.
Yeah, 10 unit of the game.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
Wrapping it up now. The refs. We did ask for consistency. They were consistently shit. They probably stole another 30 yards off Jonathan Taylor.
And I said, like, obviously CBS are full of rubbish, but they said he was 70, the head ref.
Yeah.
Why is there a 70-year-old man officiating an NFL game where there's 20-year-olds running around?
They're not
going to see who's who. They're not going to see what's going on.
Yeah. And, you know, there was something I actually saw what was really interesting was the line judge, he made the call. I can't remember what call he made. But instantly, as soon as he made the call, you know, I think 3 umpires, or whatever they call them, ran over to him. And it was like an attack. It was like, well, you can't make that call. You know, if I ever went back and found it, I'd be able to show you, but I doubt I will. But it just felt like they was upset that he had made that call. And
it's mind-blowing sometimes what goes through their heads or what's being told in their ear.
And, I mean, you could even go to you can say I'm biased, but you could go to the Saints-Titans game where the Saints got an interception. And they called roughly the passer.
The Titans are the Angels of the NFL for some reason, and I don't get it.
Yeah, and you know, another call. I mean, I could go on forever, but one more was offensive pass interference against Eric Fisher, I think it was, or Glinski, and I was just like,
something random.
So the umpires get a 0, the refs, the line judges,
I hate them.
0.
Yeah. Pro Bowl voting's open.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think any of ours are going to make it?
JT
and Rigoberto for me.
Yeah. I'd love Carson Wentz to make it, but I don't think he will.
No, I think Quinton will get in just because he gets the media hype.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's played at that elite level this year or consistently enough.
I don't even think he's played at Wentz's level this year.
No. But for me, yeah, JT and but we'll see. It's just a popularity vote anyway, isn't it?
Maybe Mike Pittman.
He's getting a bit of media coverage. Obviously, the tight end should be Jack, but he's not going to get it because he's Jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, the last thing I want to sort of bring up is I get Lucas Oil Stadium. You know, I get where Indiana is. I get it's not a loud stadium, but against the Jags, a divisional game, it just needs to be better. You know, granted, it's, you know, Carson Wentz have got that team dead quiet on offense, just like Peyton Manning did in the RCA run. Dead quiet. But defense, you know, you get one guy going.
But it's just, you know, it is the Emirates Stadium, isn't it? I think you've just got two teams that have just got two quiet stadiums, mate.
And I don't know. Obviously, you know, the Colts not being a Madden team or a media team to say.
I think that's what it is.
We're not drawing in that younger audience. You know, it is a bit stale, but I still love every single Colts fan. And I still, you know, there will be people there who do put in the heart and soul into it. But, you know, when people are just on the phone, when Carson Wentz is running for his life trying to throw a 30-yard pass to Mike Pittman, it's like, really? But that's just a modern game everywhere.
I think that's just modern day. So, like, even if you watch the Premier League, you know, if someone scores, everyone goes for their phone to record the player instead of being in the moment and celebrating themselves.
But yeah, end on a positive. It's a win. It's the only stat that matters. If we go on to win the Super Bowl, nobody will remember this game.
I don't think anyone will remember this game anyway, to be honest. It was that bad. It was just grey. It was vanilla. It was, it is what it is. But it
was about 500.
That's what it's about, mate. Kick-off 6 o'clock on Sunday, isn't it? Or is it a late one?
I'm not going to lie, I've not checked.
No, I'm just on the website now. No, it's 1 p.m. there, so 6 p.m. here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
This feels like the first season we've had with all these 6 p.m. kickoffs.
It's usually good like that, but we usually get 2 or 3. But the next late one is Arizona, I think. I know the Patriots week 15. They haven't put in a schedule yet.
Mm-hmm. And the last bit of news is Hard Knocks is out in a couple of days, I believe.
I thought it was next week.
It might be next week. I might have read it wrong.
It'd be good to see, because hopefully they give you a bit of an insight on Mac and what kind of happened there with the kind of asking for a trade. Did he ask for a trade? Did he get pushed for a trade? And what was the conversation about him having all them snaps? Hopefully they go into Carson Wentz and his change in the plays at the line of scrimmage, because I think he does a lot of that. Or hopefully he does, so it takes pressure off Frank Reich. Hopefully we get to see some personality from the coaches. I've got a worrying feeling it's going to be a very bland and vanilla show, but you know, it's our team. We've not seen it before in Indiana, so hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, and to keep bringing it up on last night, but to end on a positive, because I was thinking about this and I especially wanted to bring it up. Anyone who watches this show, you know, might think I hate Matt Eberflus with a living passion, just a little bit. I want to make clear, I think the guy is an excellent man manager. And his run defense, I think, is
lights out.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He made Derrick Henry look like, you know,
Trent Richardson. I've got him in every single episode so far.
Yeah,
I've got him in every single episode so far.
Trent Richardson, yes. I couldn't think of his name. I couldn't get
his name. It's seared in there.
But just in a passing league, he just doesn't fit the bill.
Do you know? I know you don't hate him.
Yeah.
Obviously, he frustrates us extremely. But you do know he's got a picture of you on a dartboard, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I hope he has. And I hope he inspires him to be better.
Like, yeah, best.
I hope we get a shot at winning the Super Bowl. And I hope everyone goes, haha, you was wrong about my Eagle fleece.
That'd be a great show, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'll gladly sit here and take it if he shuts me up. I want him to shut me up. Because then I'll be like, well, the defense is where I want it now.
Yeah. No, and we're all winners then.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I am also thinking, maybe the better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's easy. It's easy to find a scapegoat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easy to find a scapegoat, but
yeah, and there's always one. But when we're watching it week in, week out, and we've watched over 30 hours of Colts football this year.
Wow.
And when it's what was it they say about doing about insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the different results.
Yeah.
But again, just finishing on that positive, we are 5-2 from the last 7 weeks. If we take that form into it and a little bit more gelling, a little bit more courageous on the play calling, and anything can happen, mate. We're not writing off this season just yet.
We're only half a game off the wildcard spot. I don't know how somebody come to that conclusion that we're only half a game off, but
hey, let the statisticians do their job.
Yeah. Yeah. And last but not least, to end off this show, please, anyone who's watching or will watch him, read the description. It's not a product or selling or adverts or Patreons or whatever you want to call it. It is for what Robbie's going to talk about now to take us out.
Oh, we'll talk about it again. I'll talk about it till I turn blue in the face. Talking about face, this thing here isn't a fashion statement. It is for my brothers. Grow a Mo for a Bro. All the Movember hype at the moment. Every day I'm posting something about mental health, trying to get more people to talk about it, try to get people more aware of it, try to get people more accustomed to being more understanding about it, to create hopefully a better place. Again, I think we'll probably finish every show. If anyone's ever needing any help, just reach out. Anyone wants to chat, just reach out. Anyone wants to slag Jack Doyle off, go speak to Harrison, because you're not welcome in my house.
And that's weird. I've just got an email off Patreon.
Keep them away. We can keep them away for now.
Yeah. But yeah, and in the description it's just any helplines, UK and US. If you're watching from a different country, YouTube's not telling me yet.
Venezuela.
Please search up your local helplines, obviously. That's it.
Cheers, boys.
INDY500.
Love it, buddy. Speak to you next week.
Yeah, see you later.
Take it easy, pal.